Nowadays, the information bombardment of teenagers is so much that even the ones that want to be good find it difficult to be good every time. The advertising, the competition, the following up with the Joneses that was probably an adult issue then starts from the teenage years nowadays. The teenagers today are faced with so many challenges, and unless we become the listening ear they want to have, we would lose them.
Being a teenager is hard. We are at that stage in our lives where we are no longer children, but at the same time, we have not reached the age of being called an adult. And sometimes we get indecisive or choose the wrong things over the right things. And it gets a little bit tough at times, whereby teenagers surpass themselves, they refrain themselves, isolate themselves because of the things they are going through, which parents do not actually know. As a teenager, I know the lives and struggles we go through. Our school, thinking of other problems, girl drama, classmates, friends, trying to feel better, trying to join the crowd, and trying to follow the latest influencer or trying to follow everything.
Some of the experiences I've had as a teenager, I've not had that many experiences. I just turned 13 last year. I turned 14 this year. So I'm still trying to get used to being a teenager. It doesn't feel any different from being a preteen or a child, except a bit more responsibilities on my head.
Being a teenager entails a whole lot. It's a stage in everyone's life, the critical stage where we have to now find our inner self, our inner man, our inner spirit. Being a teenager entails a lot because at times it can be tasking, at times we almost want to give up, at times we just want to cry.
So teenagers are at a stage in their life where they are no longer children and they are also not adults. So at this stage, they're trying to just find out who they are and project who they are. So I think one of the major things they go through is identity crisis, trying to be their own person, not what their parents think they are, but they're trying to form their own personalities. Secondly, I think they go through acceptance issues, like we are growing, so some things happen. I want to be this tall and I'm not this tall. I want to be, I know something, or they're going through acceptance issues. They're trying to deal with a lot as their bodies are changing and everything is changing. Thirdly, more recently, there's, I'll call it social anxiety, yes, because the world is now one and they're trying to find their place in this big world. So there's social anxiety. There's some sort of fear as well. And of course, the opposite gender issues.
Parents sometimes are the reasons why we teenagers keep ourselves in a box, in a safe zone. Because parents are, let's say, parents think irrationally and are likely to always get provoked easily, which scares us teenagers, which we are unable to confront or tell them like, oh, hey mom, we like this person in our class, and they can put us through it. We are unable to do that because of the type of parents we have. And as a result of that, we teenagers tend to choose by ourselves or get in with the wrong friends.
We as parents, or we as adults, need to make and relate with our teenagers, not as parents and adults alone, but from a teenage perspective. We need to kind of go back and wear our shoes when we were teenagers to be able to relate to the things that they are going through. We need to give them more opportunities, not to make mistakes, but not grievous mistakes, but mistakes that they can learn from. We need to allow them to express themselves. We need to allow them to find who they are. And they'll find that in expressing themselves. When I think of what the role of church should be today for teenagers or in teenage lives, I think it's duofold. One is to actually be a safe place for the teenagers themselves, a place to explore relationships, boy-girl relationships, a place to explore creativity, a place to explore leadership, a place to explore responsibility, a place to be true to themselves, a place that they will not be held in judgment, a place that they can be true, just celebrate who they are, enjoy who they are on the way to being adults. The second part, role I think the church should play in the lives of teenagers is engaging the parents of teenagers. There's no manual out there of how to be a parent of a teenager. There's actually no manual about how to be a parent. Guess what? A lot of churches do premarital counseling, hopefully trying to help and guide couples in this journey of marriage. How did any of them do pre-parenting classes? Hey, now that you are pregnant, come, let us tell you what to expect. I thank God for my church, the Covenant Nation. I thank God for the community group where we have things that speak to expectant parents and stuff like that. But hey, who's dealing with how to be a teenager or how to parent a teenager? So the churches need to engage with parents of teenagers as much as we make life easy for the teenagers. Not easy in a deceptive way, but easier than what they are going through.
Being that there's an identity crisis, I think the first thing is the church should let the teenagers know who they are. That foundation should be laid. There's a maker that made them, so take them back to the manufacturer and let them know exactly what they've been made for and who they are. Another thing the church can do is to create places or avenues where children meet with people like themselves. Since acceptance is one of the issues, if they see people who believe the same thing they believe, think like they think, everybody does not have to do everything. So if I don't want to drink, for example, and I have people like me, and I can always interact with, I think avenues like that will help strengthen their resolve, give them a sense of belonging somewhere. Also a listening ear. In fact, I think that is really important. They should know, they should be confident that someone is there to listen. Someone is there to listen without judgment and to guide them. You can also provide role models, like they should see people who have navigated this successfully, who are admirable, that they can look up to, who are intelligent, that they can talk to, and who they can aspire to be like. So these are some of the things the church can do, should do.
We need to give them opportunity to talk. They feel silence. They feel that their voices don't want to be heard. We cannot repeat the experiences we had where we are allowed to be seen but not to be heard. No, we need to encourage their voices to be heard. We need to listen to what their voices are saying. We need to answer the questions they have. Not call them troublesome, not call them ITK, but just be there for them, even as they explore the world around them. There's a lot of uncertainty in their lives right now. They see what is going on in a country like ours. They see what is going on in the world like ours. And they're wondering, what kind of world are we going to be living to them? We can prepare them for that world with the power of foresight that we have now. Let us, as parents, as adults, give our shoulders for the teenagers to stand up, to see what their future can be like. Let's paint the pictures that they can relate to without being judgmental, without being unnecessarily confining. Let's be guardians. Let's be guardians. Thank you.